All right, people, Wednesday evening and time to do some thinking on today. It's going to be rifle type of threats. Luca is joining me today from behind the camera. So unfortunately, we only have the gun that pictures like an assault rifle. Hopefully we don't get involved with this type of weapon in real life. But the idea is just that it's not as short as we've been dealing with the shorter gun, okay? Over here in Finland, what we run into more likely are like shotguns, hunting rifles, bolt action or semi-automatic, and then this type of weapons. But then, of course, there are lots of places around the globe where you can run into an automatic weapon type of and assault rifle type of things. And now what we need to understand from this is that the firepower is massive. And it is going to be it's harder to make them malfunction than it is to make a pistol malfunction. Because the thing is that once these are going on automatic or even semi-automatic, the thing is that the malfunction is not very likely to appear over here. With this one, once you get the slide moving backwards like a 1 or 2 millimeters, and you have a malfunctioning gun, and that's it. So what we have to understand that every time we are in a threat situation with a rifle type of weapon, we have to expect that it stays alive. It's still dangerous even though we have already taken it into our control or so. And that's the thing. But then, on the other hand, it is easier with these ones to get inside the barrel line, inside the danger zone. One thing that we have a misconception of is that once we take hold of the barrel here, we don't yet have the leverage that is needed to take the weapon away, because if Luca is grabbing from the bottom here, I still have all the leverage here to rotate it. But once he gets hold of somewhere around here, I don't have the leverage anymore. So that is one very important thing to understand. Thinking about the situations where you might end up facing a longer weapon. Now, always remember that no matter what sort of firearm, if it's not inside your hand's reach, we have very little chance to actually take control of that weapon. And taking control of the weapon means that we have very little possibility to actually disable the person, the computer that is holding the weapon. So now, all of the techniques that we are doing today and all of the approaches we are doing today are going towards the situations that somehow you are close to that weapon. But today, we're going to start off by Luca giving a threat to our friend Bob here. And now thinking that I am coming from outside of this thing. And instead of directly going to the weapon, the idea again is to disable this person first. So now, from this angle that I'm coming in, we have the back of the head open. And he doesn't see what I am doing here. So while I am coming in, thinking of punching to the back of the neck, and now, or just with your hand going in, but reaching out here to the edge of the skull, And at this time, I am steering the weapon away from the threat. And again, now there are nobody else except for Bob. If there would be somebody over there, it's not making, so if Luca would be like this, pointing to a person here, and I am doing this, it's not going to be very good for Bob, right? So now, again, I don't need to do the deflection immediately, but I am doing the disabling and deflection as we speak. So once I am coming in here, I am doing this. I am hitting, and now I am getting into the situation of getting the gun. This is very important to think in exercises, that what I'm actually doing, if I am just hitting him to the legs, say here, it's not taking him out. It's not doing anything to the computer and his mind. It's not shutting down anything. So I really need to affect over here somehow to do, whether it's going to be a straight punch here or it's going to be something like this. And now I'm hitting and I'm steering the gun away. And if we do a turnaround, if I come from this angle, so if I'm coming from here, now his cheek is a little bit covered here. Neck is not so much covered. But once I think that, okay, what I'm going to do with this hand, as I am coming in and I am punching, I am getting in, and I need to be able to steer the gun away. So I try to grab from here. Now we see a lot of techniques and approaches where we go to the gun here. And as you see, I've marked with the orange tape some of the places that I can take hold of. So it's easier for you to see that, okay, where I'm going to go. Because if I'm going here, now he has all the leverage. All he needs to do is just rotate the gun and the gun is his. Okay? And I don't need to go that far. Because the thing is that if I am punching from here, now I'm heading to the temple. You can punch with open palm, or you can just go in and just do a hammer type of punch to the temple here. Don't knock yourself out, but just thinking of one of the thinnest areas in the person's head that you can punch to. And I know this is not a traditional martial arts or traditional, even not traditional Krav Maga point of view, but the thing is that hit where it hurts, okay? So, now, if I am coming in like this, thinking that what's going to be the deflection, I want to get the gun, let's say, upwards. So once I am doing this, I get the gun upwards. So what I'm doing here is that I am coming in, I am punching, and at the same time, I am ramming this up. What my hand is doing here, I try to avoid punching him to the temple too much now. What my hand is doing here, it's coming from up, it's going like this. And once I am here, I am continuing. You see that I'm on the side of him. And now as I continue going that way and gaining the hold of the weapon. But I started off by trying to knock the person out. So when we are training with firearms, whether it's now a long arm or long weapon or short weapon, but now especially with long weapons, we need to think about the disabling a little bit differently. So now, if you are in the shooting position, if I come here and do something like this to him, it doesn't produce anything. So let's not do it, okay? So thinking that, okay, now, I am here, I am coming in, bang, doing this. What if he sees me? He turns to me, he flinches, he sees me. He's still going to get hit to the temple. And that's the point. So, once you go into the situation, whether he sees or not, you're doing this and you're getting into the gun. And now as you have the gun here, now you have the leverage of doing a punch. That's what you're actually doing, just punching. Where people mostly do some not so good things. We are going here, straight leg like this, and now I try to do something. I cannot wrestle the gun from him. I don't have any body power here. I need to go into disable, deflect, and then disarm. Okay, what about very often we see that we are giving a kick there. So it might be something like, in the traditional techniques from this angle, go somewhere, something like this. You are making a pull, do, and then kick. Okay, the first problem is that if you turn, now let's be very aggressive over there, come a little bit here. So now, if I come from here, you see the angle. I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and now I try to kick him. I am not hitting. I'm in a very bad body position. And in training, of course, we're like, okay, well, you know, it's not so nice to hit and so and so and so. Well, if we don't hit in training, we don't hit in real life, that's for sure. So if we go into that approach, I don't recommend it. I want you to do first this. Now you can go into here. And if the person is sort of like staying or fighting back to you after this, there is a little bit less fight in them. Because once you hit them, there's a little bit less fight. So going here, there's a little bit less fight in them. Okay? But kicking only comes into the picture when you are this close. Something went wrong. We are here, and now I cannot use my head, which I will do first. I will hit with my head. Because if I go from here, let's turn around a bit. If I go to kicking, what it does to my balance is backwards. Now I'm not hitting him. He's in a better position of just pushing me backwards. He will win. I cannot bring my shoulders back. In a sense that we are here, something went wrong, first push. Hit with your head to the face, and then you can do the kick. Because then you are in a correct body position. Something went wrong from here, I push, now I kick. Now I will hit him. The exercise is when you are doing something like this, it's very important to always see that, hey, would I actually reach the person? And now we're about the same height, so we're about the same reach. But would I have somebody like a head taller? I would not do that. I need to go, yes, so that's where the tactics come in place. All right? But from this rep, what you need to understand that when we are coming from either side, the first thing you have to do is to go to the disable. Whether it's going to be a punch here, whether it's going to be a finger to the eye, it doesn't matter. It not necessarily take them out completely, but gives you the opportunity and possibility to actually start doing something with the weapon of getting out. And you see, I am here, not here. If we are in a sort of like a traditional way that, okay, there is a weapon threat in towards me like this. And now in these exercises, what we have to YouTube full of things are something like, you know, this and this. As you see, I'm like, you know, half a meter, 50 centimeters, 2 feet away from the person's face. So there is like no sense in training any of those techniques. What I need to think of this as a hurdle. It's an obstacle in between me and him. So from a situation like this, I turn, there's a gun, throwing it upwards, one hand or two hand, doesn't matter. But thinking of throwing the weapon upwards, first here, and now I really need to go inside. And as you see, I might have my backhand, so to say, if you think that I'm forwarding that way, this is the hand that is behind me. I still might have it here, but the first hand that goes in to make the deflection, I need to put it here, because otherwise I cannot have the leverage of moving forward and actually doing the disarm. Over here, the disabling is very hard, because from this angle, you think that, okay, where is the first time that I can disable the person? Is probably here. I can push them to the face a bit, but then I still have to have the control of the gun. All right, let's take this angle. Go right around there. Okay? So if you think that I'm going from here to here to here, now I can do this. It's gonna cause some pain to the nose. I may be able to break the nose when I'm doing this, and now as I slide this forward, I am going above here. And now, remember, if there are some sights or something here, it's going to be an obstacle. We're just going to have to go past it. So then if there is some chunk over here, I need to go like this. The key takeaway from this one, not to do this and then be happy with going like knee kicking. No, because I don't have the reach, and from here, once I've got inside the barrel line here, I want to stay there. Now if I go into too much of knee kicking, look where my head is again. It's right here. From this angle, if I want to get in, I am here, I am here. Now I was hitting him to the bridge of the nose. And now if I go into knee kicking, look where my head is moving to. So if I'm going with the knee, I need to be rushing forward with the knee all the way there. That's all right, because my motion is going forward. So always, of course, we have the respect for our training partners, but that's why we have the groin protection and stuff that we can go hitting at this pace to understand that what is going on. Okay, but what about the situation we start from here? No, we don't start from here. We never start anything from here. Only if Luca tells me, hey, hands up.
Hands up.
He's going to get what he wanted. He's going to get my hands up, but I'm grabbing the gun at the same time because he's expecting me to get my hands up. Okay? That's, again, a tactique part, but I am not missing the opportunity of him telling me hands up, and then I'm here. Now I have nothing. So only when a person tells you to, hey, hands up, then you can go into saying, okay, hands up. All right, here you're going to go. And now I am kicking and moving forward. All right? And this goes without saying. The approach is the same as it is with a shorter gun, shorter firearm. The approach is the same if the person is yielding a knife at you. The approach is the same if the person is punching you. What we are doing practically is an inside defense and moving forward, going here. Now, the other part then, when we are doing the disarm part, we are taking the gun at our own hands. Not to go to rotate here, but to go and rotate here. Thinking of, and now you can practice this motion with a broomstick or, whatever. And thinking that once you are here, what you're gonna do here is a thing that, okay, I got hold of the weapon and now I'm here. I am doing this. I am just shooting forward. I am doing a straight punch. And if you are in a, let's say that we would need to struggle here, so Luca gets the gun to his armpit somehow like this, and we are struggling here. Now again, it's time to use your head correctly, make him move, and then you get the gun away. because we're not gonna win this. He has much better grip. He's got the gun supported in his body. We're not gonna win this. It's not gonna happen. I need to make him move so I can get the gun to me. But basically what you're doing in the long weapons disarm, it's always using basic striking. Basic striking and thinking that this is going to be one of the weapons that you're going to hit the person with the front side, with the barrel here. All right? When we move to a, let's say, lower position here, we have this sort of thing. And this might be a situation with a shotgun, somebody coming, hey, let's get the fuck out of here, I will shoot you, or something like that. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna go, but it's not working. The person is coming towards you and you feel like, hey, I cannot get away. Just a hint of tactics here. But the thing is that from this position, again, what I need to do is very much the same as we are doing with a shorter weapon. In the previous sessions, we were dealing with that. So from here, what I need to do is to get inside here. Now it's time to do the disable. And then it's the disarm. Okay? Key problems in this one, when we are practicing, is that we are actually not moving our partner. What we are doing is this. We get this one right, then we do this, and then we start backing out. Where is the gun? It's again, the barrel is against my arm here. And just a training tip, in a sense that, okay, I'm doing this, and now I'm just shooting my hand to the neck. That's all I need to do, and then hold the baby here, okay? That's the idea. But keep on moving towards the person, not trying to get away. Because once you are inside the barrel line, stay there. That's the key idea. But the technique, if you take the shorter weapon, we had a situation like this. What we were doing is that, okay, I'm going to go and do this. I'm inside the barrel line now. The motion, it's the same. Well, the motion is the same if we just take let's say a choke from the side. And now he's pulling me. Motion is the same. And this is what makes training and the approach easier. We have similar type of motions to each direction. So now, what we covered here, the first thing what we were thinking was that we were coming in from a angle that he doesn't see us. So the idea of doing this and then going inside, it's the proper answer. And not gonna go to here, because he has all the leverage he needs. It doesn't matter how well I grab this, he has all the leverage he needs to pull away. From the front, we just have to figure out the situation, what would be the thing here. Is it the sort of like active shooter situation where the person is walking on school and then all of a sudden you face this, and before he gets to do something to you, you are here doing work that makes his day not so good. And again, you saw, I was not coming from here because I was on this side of the gun. This hand was forward, so what I did was this, hit with the head, and you can rewind the video, I probably made some sort of kick also, not really hitting, but just shifting my weight, so to say. So think of up, in, and already I hit the bridge of his nose there. And now as I go into kicking the legs and so, and then just pushing forward. Again, if he's coming in with gun on his hip and we're here thinking of doing this and just punching forward and then holding the baby, doing sort of like a straight punch to the side, I think it's the best description of this. From all angles, it might well be so that the person is just holding you at gunpoint here. Well, there is nothing new to this. We already did this approach and technique, because what I'm doing here, I am getting inside and I already have the gun. It's exactly the same. It's just a lot easier with the longer weapon to get inside the barrel line, because from here, doing this, I am much easier going there. But now I need to continue moving so I can get to the side. So the basic concepts and the basic movements that we do in, let's say that the person punches you and your reaction is this. You hit them. If you need to block, you block and then you hit them. And then you get to the 90 degrees to the side and then decide what to do first. Are you punching them more? Are you taking them to the ground? It doesn't matter. Do what you must do. Also, if somebody points the gun at your head from the side here, and now, again, the same thing that I'm doing from the front, but now I'm just going to go there. So I need to get my head outside. Let's turn a bit, I think. This might even be more sufficient. Let's see. And from here, think this, because this is going to go off. It's going to make a loud noise. You're going to have cordite in your eyes. So if you close your eyes, it doesn't matter. We will close them anyway when this thing starts to go off. But the key element is that don't waste your time in practicing techniques like this. Much rather go into practicing of this and moving forward and think of this motion of the hand, this one, more like a 360 type of thing. And well, that's what it's meant to be, 360 type of thing. And now I'm ramming forward and I'm making like a two-handed strike. Like the first technique you learn is to hit the person with two hands when somebody's coming at you and then they're pushing and you're going to the outside to the 90 degrees and push them away from you. But whatever you do, your hand motion is not the most important thing. Your body motion is. So if we are here, I need to get inside here. Same as with short weapon or short firearm. Every time, get inside the barrel line. And now what is needed here, it's just the same thing from your body. Now we did the deflection. Now I need to continue. I'm going that way. So whether I'm going to go with this leg forward or with this leg forward, that's, well, not irrelevant, but that's not the key thing. Keep on moving towards the person. So, again, when we came in from the side, think, okay, how I'm going to actually make that person's life harder. And in training, it's quite easy to do this slowly. Now you can be threatening Bob.
Okay.
I can do this slowly, and I'm just, doing a little bit to his eye. I'm not even punching the finger to the eye, but I'm just doing a bit of this so he gets the feeling that, hey, something is coming towards my head and everybody's making this motion. And that's enough for us. Because then, let's say that Bob here is having an assault rifle threat and he's threatening Luca. Him I can punch as hard as I want to, okay? But to punch a training partner as hard as you want to, it's going to be very, very hard. You have to have numerous training partners training with you because they will be suffering from injuries. And it doesn't matter if there's a helmet, you're not going to get the same effect. So these are the things that we need to do slowly. And with doing slowly, the problem comes in having your body motion with you. You see, when we start to do stuff slowly and we don't understand this, that hey, I am flinching, I am using my body, we're doing stuff like this. Now I'm not hitting him. Now he doesn't need to do anything. Once I'm here, my body weight is different already. My motion of going inside is different than here. Now I'm taking a step. Oh, I cannot reach. Well, you're not supposed to reach from that body position. You cannot. It's impossible. So when you are thinking of doing slowly, you have to think of all the body motions you have in that super, super fast motion that you're going to go. And once you train everything going inside smoothly, you are doing this, you are doing this, you are doing this. In real life, what will most likely happen is that you thought that you were doing it very slow, but in fact you were doing, if you look at it from the video, you were doing it very, very fast. And you're like, okay, what happened there? I thought I was doing it as slowly as I was doing in exercise, but that's what adrenaline does to us. But all the trajectories and all the movements will be correct. All right. So, side was that. Front, we had the situations of one hand leading and the other hand following, and then the leading hand going inside. Just making a hit to the bridge of the nose. If the person has the weapon here, the bridge of the nose is right there in the end of the weapon. You're not going to miss. It's going to be hitting every time. So when training with partner here, again, slowly is good. And anyway, you are going to be, hit to the nose. So, having a helmet is a helmet with some sort of a plastic, or something like that is very good. Not the metal, things like that, because we will break our hands when we are doing this eventually. But so one hand was leading, and I'm already here, I'm going in, and then I am just continuing. And then when we were at the body level here, the things got as easy as they can in a situation like this. But once you make the decision to go for the gun, that might be your last decision. So make, best out of it, so to say. Because, anything can happen with weapons. All right. Then we have the sides. And this one was the same as the one from the front. Nothing really changes. From here, you're either going to go inside. So then if you go here, and now I have not yet caused any problems to him. So now I need to go into the kicking mode. And that's where you're going to need kicking, like front kick to the side. So you get to the side of the knee here, and you just blow the kneecap away. That person is not going to be walking anytime soon. And again, training with partner, use caution. And then even if you are wearing some, like thigh patch or something here, the knee goes very well once in this direction. But then just remember that it's going to be very hard to do with full speed to a person. There is no protection to the joints that actually help, because then the person needs to be like this, so it needs to be like this, and anyway it's going to get hard. So training slowly here is the key with these things. Just understanding that training slowly, let's take this one. Training slowly doesn't mean that I am doing stuff like this. Now I'm not doing anything right. Where my head was supposed to be, I'm training slowly, I'm here, don't shoot me, and I'm like going this. Now I'm pulling, hitting, kicking, and I have the gun. And this is what makes it different from the normal movie tricks, so to say. In the movies, this is not necessarily the most showing technique. In the movies, doing something like this, it's very nice, and then you push. But actually, it's not going to work, because even though if he startles a little bit here, that's where the first shots are going off. I'm like this, and I have no body strength to resist him pushing the gun down. I have to get inside the line. This is the first time I have really something to actually go with. Because I am also now, the other hand here is pressing his hand down, so he cannot lift this one up. This is pressing down. And this is not a weight question. This is more like just a body power question. And especially, let's turn the other side here. So when we were doing this, and I was getting inside here, hitting, and now I'm hitting again, now I have the weapon. We have the things like this, that person is holding the gun here, or they are pushing you forward, or doing something with the gun. Going inside, doing this, it's very, very easy to do. But thinking that going to here, and now I am again striking to the head. This is very, very easy to do. I'm not making very hard, but the idea of this, and then it's coming right here to the artery with the palm of your hand. You can try it yourself. Hit to your own artery here. That's where it hurts, bang. And it's gonna move the person. And now as you have the hold of the weapon, like a baby from here, and you are doing this. And again, the motion is exactly the same if the person had a knife on your back, or the person had a short weapon on your back. The long gun here makes it a lot easier to actually do. Let's wrap this up for today. So what to practice with weapons is a thinking that, hey, how do I get inside the barrel line? How do I deflect? And where is my first chance to actually disable the person? If your first chance to disable the person comes before deflecting, go and do it. And if there is no real need at that time to deflect, somehow there is nobody in front or so to deflect from, then just go for the kill, so to say. Just, get the person out. It's the same thing, like there's a video where two guys are competing, like a coach, throws like a bone to a dog. And both dogs go after the bone. And then, of course, if there would be an attack dog, the attack dog would first bite the life out of the other dog and then go and eat the bone. That's the idea that we must have. So if we have a rifle there and Lucas starts to go for it, what I want to do is this. I will kick him to the head and then take the rifle. No need to go and dive into that, gun first. Always think that taking the person out is the key. Because once you shut the computer, it's not going to work. As long as the computer is in game, they're going to do something. Next week, what we're going to do is that we're going to turn this around. We're going to turn this around so that we are thinking that, hey, if somebody is trying, you have a weapon. Now let's say, now in this month we have firearm. But you have something and the person is trying to steal it away from you. What do you do? How do we take the approach of these principles and some of the techniques and go into applying those to the situation where a person tries to take your weapon away from you. For the most people, this is perhaps quite a hypocritical point of view. Hey, I don't have, there is not a way that I have a weapon or something like that. But hey, your weapon might be your keys or your chain or some sort of baton, something that you have in your hands as an improvised defensive tool, aka weapon. But sounds better if you are in the court of law, improvised, defensive tool. And the same principles apply. That this is happening. So next week we're gonna go into more like that. That hey, something happens. Luca reaches for my gun. He gets my gun to him, and what I'm gonna do here? Well, it's gonna be quite boring, actually. But we're gonna get into some of these situations that somebody took something away from you. Whether it's your cell phone, not to fight over the cell phone, but just shut the computer and hey, guys, any questions you have, just shoot. Most of you have my WhatsApp number. Just shoot there or then email. Hey, what about this situation and what about that situation? In the platform, we currently have on the English side, we have the all different type of techniques. Some were from the past and so on. There are some hostage situations and so on. But the same principles apply. It's just the way, and I'm giving you sort of like empowering all of you to actually go and try them out. This is why we practice. What works for you. If you are just doing the deflection, you are doing the disabling, and then in the end you will have to disarm. If you are going by these principles and then thinking that, hey, what's the shortest way for me to do this? Then go and do it. Try it out. And once your partner is playing the active attacker, reacting to your motions, somehow trying to stop you from doing that, then you will find, okay, well, that didn't work. Okay, what's going to work? And that's the thing that we need to explore with all of the Krav Maga and self-defense techniques in general. New problem comes along. It's not a problem. It's a sort of like an invitation to do something else, or gives me sort of like a new opportunity to do something else. But the principles, stay the same. All right, guys, that's it for today, and be seeing you next week. We have a superb session coming up. Probably I'm gonna get beat up again, or if not, then Luca's gonna get beat up. But somebody's gonna get beat up anyway. So it's good to watch. All right, hey, be seeing you then.